I'm Meg. This is Tiffany. We work with a company called Ocra, and very simply, we monetize non-guest parking for hotels.
It's interesting. I've been in business 40 years, and when I first started, yield management wasn't a thing. You had a reservation manager, and she took reservations, and then you had a sales manager, and she was responsible for sales. And then we had the first revenue manager, I think maybe in the country, certainly in New York. And I said, I don't want to insult my director of sales or my director of marketing, but 80% of the revenue is coming through individual guests, not marketing to corporate or group. So we need a director of revenue. Okay. So we get a director of revenue. Now we're looking at the airline, and the airline's been doing it great for a long time. And then we started. I actually had a revenue management business for a very long time with a partner of mine, and we started looking at food and beverage. She actually started doing food and beverage at the World Astoria in New York. Started revenue management, but parking came later, where we can really revenue manage parking. And hotel owners will spend $1 billion on renovation, but they will spend one penny on a pen and say, why do I have to pay a penny for a pen? Right? So when you walk into a client, they must be really excited about your product.
You'd think that. I think for a lot of them,
You think that, but they don't want to spend any
yeah.
money.
But I think for a lot of them, they see it as just another challenge to undertake, and they've thought about it before. Most hotels have tried this before or been pitched this before directly from a channel. What makes us really unique, and I think the hurdle that we overcome for a lot of the assets that we work with, is that there's no lift to the hotel. So we're not only coming in and saying, hey, you have some underutilized assets here. You have parking spots that are sitting there making you $0. They could make you a lot more than that. We're going to do that all for you. We're going to integrate with all of the different ways that somebody could make a reservation for parking for you. We've worked with all of them. And we're not going to put any additional effort on the staff that's at the hotel. And that's a really big selling point because a lot of hotels have thought of this before, or they've thought, man, really use these $80,000 gates, but I don't really have the revenue for that. And what would that do for our guest parking operations, for example? A really solid example of this is I quite literally have a hotel that needed new gates. They couldn't afford it. They weren't getting the go ahead from management. The revenue that we're going to generate from them in the first year is more than double what those gates cost. So they sign on with us, they get the go ahead to upgrade their gates. Everybody wins. And now they're able to generate additional money for their guest parking and their non guest parking. So not only do we remove that lift, but we're giving them something that they need and we're solving a pain point as well.
We were talking off camera, and you said something that I've said about hotel rooms. So a hotel room, a guest is coming to our hotel, and we know in a restaurant you can only charge maybe $8 to $15 for a hamburger, right? You really can't charge much more than that.
Mhm.
But in a hotel, I can charge $100 for a room tonight, and then tomorrow I could at Foxborough.
Yep.
I can talk for a hotel. It's $100 tonight. It's $1,500
Yep.
tomorrow if there's a game. So I go to sleep in a hotel. My car goes to sleep in a hotel. Why not charge for them? So tell me your concept about a parking space.
So for us, we're going to look at a parking space as essentially a perishable asset, right? The same way that a hotel room is a perishable asset. If there's nothing in it, it's not gaining you any money. The unique thing about it is that there's no overhead for that parking space to sit unused. So a hotel owner isn't thinking, oh my goodness, I got to get something in that parking spot the same way they're thinking, I got to get a body in a bed, right?
Absolutely.
And for us to go in and say, hey, you're not doing anything with these. We could come in here and get you $10, we get you $15. We also look at the historical data about what's going on in the area. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can monetize that. Off airport parking, for example. I want to go to the airport. I don't want to spend $180 to park my car for the week that I'm away. I could spend $60 at the hotel adjacent to it. Nice, safe location. Shuttle takes me and my family to the airport, takes me right back to my hotel.
Right.
The flip side of that is the event space. So Foxborough, another great example. We're looking at that. Let's say I'm just parking here because it's close to somewhere I want to go, or I want to walk around, or I want to go tour the stadium in the off season. Games come in. I might be charging $150 for that spot versus $10 in the off season. The Hurricanes just won the Stanley Cup. We have a hotel right adjacent to that arena that made thousands and thousands of dollars just from the playoffs and from the Stanley Cup that they would otherwise be charging $10 a day for that parking spot. They were able to charge over 100.
And that spot is expensive.
Yes.
Taxes.
Yes.
So you're paying the taxes and you're paying whatever you need to do to repair that anyway.
Mhm.
But the profitability of that is greater than the profitability of a hotel room, of a hotel room.
Hey, you have a bunch of property that you already own. And we were just walking on the way here and talking about how do you want that to be just concrete or do you want that to be cash? So really just pushing that message of,
I like that.
they have the option of it's sitting there anyway. So with my role, I feel really grateful and excited to be able to talk with hotels and let them know that we want to get them to the end goal of what they want, whether it's an espresso machine or if it's doing more renovations. To your point, my role is really special where I get to connect with them and figure out what those goals are and kind of what hits that message home to get where they want to be.
What's the one thing when you're trying to talk to a new client? What's the first hesitation?
I think that's too good to be true.
Yes,
That's
always.
that's kind
What's
of
the
like
catch?
yeah, what's the catch? And that kind of is the catch. The catch is that there's no catch. And we were also talking about earlier how most people, when they get what they want, they kind of have that panic moment of, oh, like it's that easy, or it's that end goal where they're like, now I'm here, now what?
Listen, I have never optimized marketing and I've run many hotels. I've never thought about it until I started seeing all these apps pop up. And so it's absolutely essential, especially hoteliers are always trying because costs never go down,
No.
right? And in some markets, you can only charge a certain amount of money. A lot of people aren't near a Foxborough. A lot of people aren't near the champions who just won the Stanley Cup. A lot of people are in B and C markets. They're maybe near a college. Now all of a sudden that college is gone for the summer. But now all of a sudden, like in my community, we have a need for parking because we're not allowed to park on the streets
Yeah.
where I live. So if there's a parking lot, like again, if all the colleges are out, but all the people coming down the beach in the summer,
Yes.
you can really charge a lot. Matter of fact, they do. They charge a lot of money for parking.
Our motto has always been a rising tide raises all ships. We do not make money unless our partners make money. We only get a percentage of what they make. That's it. So if we're not going to make them money, we are not going to be able to work with them.
I don't mean to disagree with you because we just met, but that's not why you're successful. Meg and Tiffany is why you're successful.
Can you say that again?
Can you
Meg
say
and Tiffany is why you're successful. No, you guys are so passionate and articulate, and I'm going to kind of switch it up a little bit on you.
Yeah.
So we're here at High Tech in San Antonio for Hospitality Creator Summit. That's why I'm here. I co-founded with my partner Anna Blue, and we had our Creator Summit on Monday. And our room was full in the beginning, and it was full at the end. But one person stood out in the room to me and not Josh, okay? And it was you. And we both said it. I'm like, are you getting pictures of her? It's like, yeah. You stood there like, you sat there like this from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, wherever time you started, and you had a smile on your face, and you were, I don't know how you did it. You must do a lot of Pilates or something because you stood like this and you smiled and engaged with I've never seen anything like it.
she posted a picture that from the Creator Summit, I could see where she was sitting and I could see the notes that she had already taken.
Right.
And I could tell that she was really just like soaking it all in. And I mean, that's Tiffany.
You all made it so easy. I felt so grateful to even be in the room with all of you, just getting all of the different perspectives from both the influencer side and the hotel side
And the brand side.
and the brand side, which you don't get in the same room. So for me, that was great to have every different avenue. For myself, I learned a lot on the influencer side, but from the marketing side, learning from the brand and the hotel side was just incredible because it kind of puzzle pieces everything together. And having everyone be so authentic and so themselves, and having you up there and Glenn and just Anna, just everyone being real, kind of made everything fall back into place and take that step back to where we need it. We need people to be real again, and we've lost that a little bit. We're losing our voice, and we got to keep it there.
So what would you say to people? I want you to look at that camera and I want you to say, what would you say to people that were not in the room?
You need to be there. You missed out. It feels like a dream that I was even there. So to not be there, you need to go. Next year, you got to sign up now.
I think I love you.
Love you more.
So okay, I'll give you a second to think about
Yeah.
one word to define the confidence.
Ooh, inspiring.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
And
thank
what do you
you.
and what do you think about having the creator lab, which means anybody, not just people that came to the conference, not just our sponsors, anybody in high tech, all these thousands of people could stand in line, come here and shoot and go and do a green screen or come and just sit down and drink some water and have some coffee. Like this is open for everyone in high tech. What do you think about that?
It's incredible and it's energizing and it's authentic. And I think that that's something that makes this a little bit different, and that these conversations a little bit different is there's a level of I want everyone to learn. I want everybody to have the opportunity to grow. I want everybody to do this together. The sense of community that that creates and the sense of sharing ideas is just going to take this to a whole different level, because people are going to leave here so inspired, like you said, but also so involved and feeling like this is part of what we're going to do. I have to go back next year. I have to come back. How could I miss this? Look at what I'm taking away from this year. Look at how open they are to sharing and creating experiences for everybody. And I think that's really unique for a conference.
And that was one of the scariest things for me when Anna approached me on this idea. I was like I don't care, right? I don't consider
Yeah.
myself a creator, um, because I did it. Like I said on stage, I did a TV show. I had a lighting person. I had a camera guy. Now you have to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
That's a creator. I barely can get a LinkedIn out without a misspelling and a great picture that looks like something, and I hate it. So I don't like creating content. But what I love is I love when entrepreneurs want to create content. But one, they have to be an entrepreneur. And two, they have to have a personal brand. Then they create content. And I think we said a lot of that in the room. So I was nervous because why would content, we said it in the room, why would content creators help each other? Well, why not?
Great.
Right? You may lose this piece of business today, but what you're going to do is you're going to say, that person got that piece of business and they did this. Now you're going to get competitive, right? If I said to you, I'm going to open up same shop you have right next to you and I'm going to steal your customers, what would you say?
I'd say go for it. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do something different.
Exactly. You're going to say, good luck and God
Yeah.
bless you.
Exactly.
Right? I say it all the time. It's like, you want to go after my gigs or whatever, go. And if you win,
You're just going to make me better.
and you're not going to win tomorrow, you may win, but you won't win tomorrow.
Right.
And that to me is what we did this for.
Yeah.
So you said one word was inspiring, but what's the one thing you learned that you're going to adapt to your business?
Ooh. I think it's to really focus on not having to worry about being perfect. And I think that's where the big hang up is so many people where to a point you want things to be perfect. You want it to come across the way that you're hoping that it will. And sometimes it does take that moment of reflection. But I think when people are just real and they're like, you know what, I'm not worried about offending anyone. Like I am who I am. Our company is who it is. Once you have that confidence in yourself, that's what matters. And that was the biggest thing that I've taken, where everyone that got up on stage was confident. And if they weren't, I was none the wiser. Everyone seemed very much themselves, very comfortable, very confident.
And they really were. And what I say to people who want to get into content creation or speaking or whatever, and as you know, I have horrible stage fright, right? You were there when I said
Yeah.
that. Like paralyzed.
But you never know.
You'd never know.
Paralyzed. I don't have it anymore. But even when I had it, well, I was on TV for 10 years and I had it. But on TV, I never had it. But when I get on stage, and I get paid a lot of money to get on stage, it would be a process. I don't have it anymore. And I learned one thing that I learned is I'm going to be okay up there. So if I fall or the mic drops or whatever, I can talk about anything, right? And so I'm going to have one of you two, anybody can do it. I'm going to have you prove my concept, okay? I'm going to think of a word,
Okay.
okay? And you're going to give me 20 seconds on that word, okay? Orange. Go.
Just talk about orange.
Orange. You have to go now.
Orange, it's juicy, it's delicious. I can grow them in my yard. I pick them off trees. My kids love them. Juice is really good, and it reminds me of growing up playing soccer and walking around with an orange peel in my mouth, which is a great memory.
Great job, right? So that's what we're trying to teach creators. It's like, just be you. Because if somebody says something stupid or is off topic, you know yourself well enough, just have confidence, right? And so that's kind of if I go off to the sunset tomorrow, like, and this keeps going, and I'm not involved anymore, it'd be the happiest thing in the world because you're young into this business. And if we taught you something, that's that's what I want to be if there's a legacy, is that I help young people, whether it be in the hospitality industry, whether it be in the parking business. I want you to, this is the greatest business in the world, I think.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So any other questions?
I do have one that I've been thinking about since Monday.
Okay, though.
You've been in the hospitality space for a long time. What is the most comfortable bed that you've slept in a hotel in
That's
your entire career?
Great question. Only person's ever asked me that question. Um, when I first started, there was definitely a separation. Now there's a lot. Most beds are comfortable.
Yeah.
We got the memory, right? But when I first started, almost every bed was uncomfortable, and Weston really helped that. Definitely, the Weston bed, 100% was the most comfortable bed I've ever slept in.
Wow.
Okay, I went out and bought that bed. Actually, not that bed. Actually, a bed even a little bit better than that. But it was called. I walked into the store and I go, I want the Bentley of beds, and the gentleman says, okay. And the bed, I swear to God, was Bentley.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, is that the Bentley of beds? He goes, what's the name of it? I go, Bentley. He goes, boom. I was like, does it have a price tag like Bentley? He goes, yep. And we bought it. But anyway, but then I repositioned a hotel called the Algonquin Hotel in New York City, and I wanted to get a Western kind of bed. So I went to the same manufacturer and I said, give me the Algonquin bed. So then we marketed the Algonquin bed, which was even more comfortable than the Western bed, and we sold like 1,000 of them because we marketed it and we put a tag on it called the Algonquin bed. So I would say the Algonquin bed.
I'm gonna have to get one now.
Yeah, it was a great question.
I've been thinking about it. I'm like, if anyone knows, it's you.
So ask me a question that's going to make me uncomfortable.
What is the most unique problem you've ever solved?
Okay.
Hmm.
Every single day, who do you talk to the most in one day?
Who do I talk
Yeah.
to the most? Besides myself.
That's the answer. No, that's the answer. If you said your husband or whoever, your mother, whatever,
I'm lying. It's me.
but that's what. Listen, as soon as you open your mouth before, it's like, she's great. That's
You
the
gotta be your
answer.
best friend.
That's the answer. Yourself. And we all have a movie in our head. It's 20 seconds long, and we're the producer, editor, and creator of that movie. So the movie used to be, I'm afraid to be on stage. The movie used to be was like, I've never had that kind of imposter syndrome. I was never that guy, but I'm just like, I'm in a room with tech bros, and I have no idea anything about technology, right? And or whatever the movie I had. My movie got positive pretty quick, but a lot of people have I'm mentoring a kid right now, a kid, 38-year-old man, that he has a 20-second movie in his head that's like, I suck, I suck, I suck, I suck. That's the one thing that change the movie in your head and change your life.
I love that. I love that. Be your biggest type person.
What's that?
Be your biggest type person.
Right. But you have to, like every morning I wake up, and I don't always do this now. I can't get out of bed unless I give 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds of just being grateful that I opened my eyes. Like, I'm like, thank you. So I'm getting this, so I got to go.
I did my gratitude journaling this morning, so
What's that?
did my gratitude journaling this morning right there
Really?
with you.
Yeah. But it's so funny, I knew you did Pilates just because you're like this.
It's the best posture out of everybody.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm sitting there, right? Just now talking to you guys, and I'm like this. And every time I look at her, I'm like, you're an inspiration.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you,
Pleasure.
Anthony.
It's a
Pleasure.
pleasure.
All
Thank you
right.
for inspiring us.
That's a wrap.